All right, welcome YouTubers. This is introduction on a way to start Farming Simulator 15. I've got it on normal with Westbridge Hills, so the American course. I'm going to use course play and charge a wage, but it's been a little while since I started a game from fresh. So let's just look at our settings and go in here. I'll make it real time, fast growth, withering off. Everything else looks okay to me. Just so you can take a look at it. So they start you off here. You got a little over $6,000 or $6,000 exact here. And what am I trying to do here? Let's see. All right. So I'm going to keep a couple of default tractors. Of course, you own Field 16. And you got to make some choices here on whether I'll pick up a weight. I'll use the normal cultivator because I'm going to grow chafed corn. But you have wheat on the field right now, so you got a decision on whether you want to just start plowing now or you want to clear 16 from wheat. It's a little slower to clear 16 from wheat, but what the heck, you'll make a little extra money. So I'm just going to run this guy over to field 16 here. There's my little crappy Comia combine they give you. This is a really annoying part of the game when you're starting out, but this is a good way to make money using chafed corn down in silage. So let me go ahead and I think I'll keep this guy too. These are like the heavyweight tractors that they give you, it looks like, compared to that, you know, H88, 8088 on the top there. So I'm going to need this standard low-end sower. I'm going to set it to corn. So I'm going to, one thing about corn, it doesn't have a combination cultivator sower like the other main crops do, so you're going to need to have individual utilities. This guy here, bottom end tractor, I'm going to keep him, and I'm going to keep the cart just because I'm deciding to unload the wheat. So I'm eventually going to sell those two. They're kind of useless to me. Well, let's drive them over to the field and pick a good starting point. I am going to course play this guy. Let me put it right there. There's my Comia. I'll unfold it. I gotta unfold it before you can hire a worker and attach, of course, attach the header. Get it started. Hire a worker. Off he'll go. Start clearing some wheat. So let me put this on record. This is a good enough path. You know, I'm not dealing with multiple fields and multiple tractors. This is sort of a temporary little course for me. Run it over the pit. Collect the wheat. Let me just come around the back end here. End up somewhere as fast as I can. As this little tractor will allow me to go. And let me just come in here behind him. Oops, might have made that little tight on that turn. Again, this is just a course I need to use once. Let me save it here. 16, offload, and start that course. I'll assign it to the combine, even though you don't need to do that if you drive on the field. And 5090, whatever. Good enough from recording. Recording is pretty fast. Good enough. Not going to matter. This guy's just going to unload that combine. I'm going to have to use him quite a bit. This tractor here, they gave me this tractor. I forgot about this guy. Where the heck am I? No, I'm down the end of 15. Quite far away. Just started me in the middle of nowhere there. So I'm going to run this guy up. This guy's going to be on the selling block. I don't need any more than the tractors that I've talked about so far to clear the field, and I need the two tractors at least to do the corn. So I'm going to run this. There's my combine in the distance doing 16. I'm going to run this somewhere starting in the middle of 16. It's going to put a little temporary course back to the shop. Let me check that tractor. I'm not quite sure about these low-end tractors. It's a little better than the 661s that I've been keeping. Yeah, 199, 105, and it's about the same. Maintenance is pretty high on both of them. Maintenance is not a big deal. So let me go ahead and start a course here. This is just a temporary driver course from there over to the, I know I can drive it manually, but as I like to send these things over to the shop to get sold, just a good starting point for them to run to in the background while I'm sleeping. Down to 5,800. Can't really buy anything quite yet. Let me stop. That was probably a little too far, but that's okay. Save it. A to the shop. A is just little transport routes in my language. Doesn't have to be naming anything you want. We usually put the field numbers first. I'm going to leave that there. Got another little crappy tractor. This guy's out the end of 11. Sort of over by the flour mill. I don't need him either. I guess I could drive him straight to the shop here or just use course play. Load up that A to shop. First waypoint. And once I get over on field 16, I'll set him free. Activate an end stop. Cash for these two tractors. There's something slipping. Wonderful. Send you on your way. Let's go. Yeah, great. So obviously got some people in the way. Not a real good route. Back this guy up. Get him back on the field. Start him. He's going to drive behind the combine. I guess that's what he was trying to do when he ran into some of the other tractors I left around there. The guy was making a turn. Some of these short fields, that's the way it goes. Hopefully he runs well from this point on. So no biggie, pretty standard stuff here. He's going to offload the combine and wait in line, or I might send him on his way just to get him out of the way. I do want to keep this combine moving. You can see my other tractor sitting in the background there, eventually heading back to the shop. Alright, good for him. I gotta get a little buffer going here, and I'll start the, let me flip around to this guy, and I never actually put him on activate at end. Otherwise, he's gonna try to come back to the beginning of the route. Not good. Eventually crash. So I think I got a little bit of buffer here. I'm not sure. This guy, I'm not sure of his width. Say 3 or 4 meters. Narrow little guy, but let me hire him. He's gonna start cultivating the field, so clearing the field basically, so I can then sow it with corn. So I'll let him run a little buffer. I don't know if he'll catch that combine or not, if I need to keep an eye on him. Kind of the boring part of the game. It's going to take a while to clear this damn field. I don't know if it takes an hour or what it does. I don't normally play with these guys. This guy reached the end, so I'm going to run over. I'll sell these guys. I think I'll sell them. I'm going to sell them inside. Sell them at the shop. You get a little more money for that. Let me just, this guy, I don't know if he's going to hit the wagon. So let me go ahead and wait for this guy to turn the corner and request a driver. That way he'll have the full length to hopefully offload. I've got him moving while he offloads. Doesn't work at the ends, but that would be the optimal here, for it to come and catch up and offload while the combine running 100%. Save me a little time. Let's get sure we're on our way. Well, the other guy didn't hit him anyways, but I need to get him out of the way, so it seems like that's going to be a perpetual thing. Let me sell these guys, jump out of them. more 35 grand and 22 grand. So now I'm going to go ahead and sell that for 62 grand. I've got to purchase a front loader. Let me go ahead and borrow as much money as I can here, as the game will allow me. Go into deeper debt. I've already got that $100,000 loan. I think it goes up to 200. So you got another 100,000 there. Good. So I'm up to 162. Now I can buy a front loader. And so I've got some choices. Before I do that, let me take a look at the. Well, yeah, I'm sorry about that. What I'm trying to do is buy this Pottinger, and that's 38 grand, 110 kilowatts. I'm going to buy that right now. I'm going to need that to harvest the corn, and I might as well get my tipper. I like a little bit bigger tipper, just the low end 21,000 pound tipper. I do have to buy, with 100,000 left, I know it's 105 for that upgraded striker. I guess I'll just buy the T4. Little crappy T4. I think once I buy this, I gotta buy the loader for it. That'll be good enough. That's fine. They're the same bucket, I believe. Low end stuff here. Let me go ahead and get the New Holland version of it. $5,400, and I need a bucket. $900 bucket. 1860 capacity. Good enough. Probably needed a weight in there. Alright, so it's 6:50 in the morning. I'm down to 30 grand. Got some utensils, got my basics. Got everything I need. Go ahead and grab the. What do I want to do here? Let me grab the trailer. I'm not going to attach the trailer to this guy. I'll attach him to bring it over to the field. And I don't think the T4 puts the MX5 head on it, the corn head. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the loader on it now. And the bucket. That'll be the front end weight for it. Probably need a back end weight, but raise that up. Alright, good enough. I'll come back later for the MX5. So this guy I primarily bought to shovel silage down at the biogas plant. You can upgrade it, but he'll produce. Where am I gonna go? Let me go ahead. Well, I got the. I want to unload some of my inventory. They give you some base inventory, like 8,000 pounds of everything. And he's got the nice 21,000 pound tipper on it. So let me come over to my chute. And I'll unload everything but wheat, little by little here. Just get myself under the spigot. And I'm collecting wheat. I don't remember how much this field gives me, so I just start with a little under 9,000. Let me do the barley first. It doesn't matter that I recorded it. I shouldn't have filled it, but whatever. I'm going to do a little path here, from here to the flour mill. Where's my? I didn't like the way it gave me that dot. Yeah, shoot. I don't want to drive over there either. Drive back over the pit. Let me delete that. Mistake. We get under the nozzle again and start another path. Maybe I'll go a little further out. Further out this time. Just so it doesn't crash into that stupid tree. 2, 2, 3. There we go. Alright. Now I'll avoid the pit. Get my speed up. I'm going to use this path to unload barley, canola, potatoes, all the other stuff like that. I'll go ahead and cut this field. See, it's slowing down a little bit on me. Weak ass T4. I've only got 8,000 pounds in this sucker. I am going to keep the recording speed as opposed to maximum speed, I think. Just because once I get full weight on this tractor, I'm not sure how much it's going to push it around. Course speed's good enough anyways. It's not going to be, well, I'm not going to use it for unloading necessarily. I might end up getting a better one if I get better, you know, a train or later more advanced. Might re-record it. Or this one might work for me. So drive it over the pit. I don't need to unload it here. When I drive it, it would have filled it and loaded it anyways. So let me just get the course play done. Just maximum speed for this tractor. Fast as I can go here. Try to make it smooth around the corners so it's not jerking up on you. Doesn't matter if it does, as long as it doesn't plow into a tree or something for you. Typical course play work here. So the guys I've hired and the course play workers are drawing a little bit of salary, so I'm down under 30,000 here. But the good news is I kind of have what I need. Of course, I've got to upgrade everything in theory. You know, most of these early tractors and combines and stuff don't really need it. Let me go ahead and stop the course there, and I'm going to name it silo to flour, and set myself to load, and I'm going to do barley, and let's go ahead and drive the course. And it's already filled. It should give me the warning that I'm out of. Didn't fill the tractor and I'm out. There's the warning. Just go drive. And when it comes around next time, I'll do canola, and then I'll have to manually drive it over to the other boys. Alright, so that guy's plowing around. He's got a little bit of a gap. I'm not sure what the width on this one is either. And I'm not sure the speeds of these two either, whether this guy's going to catch the other and they'll interfere. I'll just have to keep an eye on it manually over the next hour. Plow this stupid thing. I've got it on corn, and go. Hire the worker. Not doing course play on these. Hiring the worker's good enough. They might crash into some traffic or crash into the barn. See, this guy's offloading a nice load of wheat. Alright, so I'm pretty much on good run here. Alright, so I fast forward half an hour, and it wasn't as bad as I thought, at least with the Comia part of it. I'm getting down to my last couple rungs of wheat. My cultivator's been running along, and runs a little faster than the sower. So I've been continually requesting drivers like I am here. I offloaded all the... Well, what are those guys going to do? Just, alright. I thought they were going to crash in the background there. Like, come on, guys. Smartly avoided each other, sort of. Yeah, so I've got $53,000 in 54, 53. Now it's going down. In that the canola and the potatoes and the sweet potatoes or whatever they're called, sugar beets, all got sold. 8,000. I didn't sell the wood chips. I'm not going to bother too much. 54. I think my massive cultivator is like $48,000. And the big time sower is like $98,000. So once I sell the wheat, I have not sold the wheat yet either. I wanted to try to see how much was going to collect. I'm going to stop and go this driver. I don't know. Stop it here or do that last rung. Get kind of bored. Let me just offload him here and be done with it. For purpose of this video, one last little half rung there isn't going to get me done. I'm going to send him back to the shop as soon as this guy gets done offloading. Let me send him back and get out of the way. Drive to the shop. Stop at the end. Probably should put my tail in. I'll hit a tree or the lamp pole or this car. Come on, people. Alright. Go on your way. I don't think there's any more traffic involved. Oh, I'm going to sell him. I don't know how much he sells for, but probably a pretty good pittance. This guy's been waiting out here. I'm going to let that little cart unload, come around, and I'll pick up the wheat. So I'm going to get some money for the comia. I'm going to get some money for the wheat. I'll sell off that little tractor and little trailer. Come on, guy. There he goes. Jump in behind him. And drive. Let's see, I'm up to, so I left 9,000 I think I started with. I'm up over about 41. So, what, 32,000, 33,000, something like that, right? You know, that you got in wheat pounds. There's a little extra money for you. You can either do or do without it. You know, it's at this stage in the game, it's a good chunk of change. I don't know, $8,000, $9,000. Not the end of the world. Considering what's coming up as my main portion, this guy's gonna have to drive twice. So I'll just let him go on his way. Go ahead and do that. So I'm going to fast forward on the part. Fast forwarded through the, sending my other guy home. I'm going to put this in the box to be sold. And as soon as that other guy arrives, I'll either sell both of them. This guy's hauling wheat, and this guy is getting close. Guess I can follow this guy for a while. Alright, stop this guy, drive him right in. Time to sell some more equipment. That load brought me up to, load of wheat brought me to 64. I got a nice $63,000 for that with a manual sell. 4,300, 12,6, 22,2 again. So $166,000. I think I'd like to buy the corn. I need a fertilizer too. Shoot. Let me buy that weight. I forgot to buy a weight. What do I want to do? Gotta buy a fertilizer. Only because that'll double my output on the corn. So there goes that chunk of change. And that leaves me 117. Got a 98,000 and a 48,000 purchase. What I can do for upgrades. And these guys are chugging along. Think about it for a couple minutes here. Well, this guy fills a partial load. Balance of the 41,000 in corn. I'm sorry, not corn, wheat. And his day is done. Go on your way, my friend. This guy's almost finishing up. A couple more rows. Alright, so he's done cultivating. Cultivating's done on 16. We drop off that cultivator. We drop off the weight. Go run it back to the shop. Increase my speed a little bit here. No, max speed doesn't work. There we go. Turn speed. That'll get me there a little quicker. This guy here is done. I got zeros all along the, except for the bottom wood chips or whatever. Not even sure where to drop those off personally. Don't care about them. I'm going to drive over to 16 on this one. Drop off my trailer. I don't need the trailer on this guy. I need a weight on the back. I might steal this weight. This will be gone. You know what, I'll send him back and buy him a weight. Alright, so I've got the Mex 5, I got a weight. And I've got a fertilizer. Throw my fertilizer on the rear end. This one will attach the Mex 5, so let me do that. It's good to go. Driving back to 16. All very complicated. That guy can pick up that weight. I still got a weight down here to work with the cultivator or equivalent. Drop that guy off. So I want to fertilize. Fertilize does work with the corn and the silage. So it's really nice to double your amount here. Don't have to. But this manure spreader is a good wide guy to do it pretty quick. Put the weight on the back end of this guy. And then let's drive him over to the biogas. Alright, I made a course play route out of that. I don't know why I did that, just in case I ever need to send something back to the down to the biogas. So we're in the biogas. 4 stalls. I think I'll use 2 and 3 for the starting. Raise me up a little bit. Go to my settings. That's going to be my transport position. Click OK. And bring it down. A little lower. Yeah, that might be too low. We'll see if it snags up. Do okay there. All the way up. That's going to be my pre-unloading. And just dip the bucket. That's my unloading. So hopefully those settings work okay. And I'm going to need to work on, let's see, silo 2. Let me start a new path here, and if you ever done this before, you go forward a little bit, you put a park, and it will drop it to the loading position. It's going to load, and it'll stop when the bucket fills. So but I'm going to drive the entire course here, the length of this bunker, put a park there, so that's the end point. If it ever reaches that, it'll stop on you. You know, if you're totally out of junk. Got to reverse it. So it scooped the load, it's reversing. Just to keep it nice and clean here. Take the reversing off, go to forward. I basically crash it into these bins here. And when you get there, just take a look here. Alright, good enough. Push another park, do a reverse. I probably shouldn't have reversed it this way in case I ever want to add a second guy, but one's good enough for now. So let me go forward just to finish here and find a spot where you can find it'll go from here to the starting point. So make sure those are in line, otherwise it spins around. I'm going to call this bio front 2. So that's for my little indicator telling me I'm coming from the front side. I can add another lifter from the back side, which will help unload quicker in real time, not necessarily in you know, game time, because even this tipper, even this bucket will catch up with the limit of the mulcher there, the biogas muncher, right, at 25 pounds a second or something. I'm gonna set up another little course play here, just to run over the stuff. That's sort of a compacting. So I'm just going to run back and forth in a loop here. I don't think I'm going to deposit too much in here, but when you get a lot deposited, it's nice to automate that compacting. So this is just going to drive a circle. I'll save that as bio compact 2. Eventually need the same as those for the other 3. Just checking up here. I got a nice crash that it doesn't warn me about. Damn warner. So lost a little bit of time there. That's okay. Start to hire that guy again and let him finish off. Have a nice fertilized and soon to be sowed. Because once this gets done being sowed, I'm going to crank up the speed limit on it. Alright, so I'm going to drop off the thingy do. Drop off the tipper. I'm going to come over here and pick up my Mex 5 because I need to make my course plays for a couple different course plays I need to do here. One is on, I'm going to auto-generate this field. It's field 16. The default is 2 or 2.1 on the working with, so very narrow. It's going to take a while. I'm going to start in the southeast and head west. Let's go ahead and generate and show it all. I really want to go look over at the end here because the end is kind of important where it ends at. So this is ending over by the barn and not up in this corner. Not optimal. I like to stay away from that barn. You already saw the other course play crash into the windmill and stuff like that. So let me go ahead and cancel that. Bump it up to 2.2. That ends here. That one might be suitable. Let me do 2.3. Yeah. 2.4. Now I'm getting some pretty big gaps between the stalks. None of them are really helping me out. I think I'll go back to 2.2. The point being that I want to end up in this corner. I'd like to end up in this corner. Yeah. Yeah, let's go back to 2.2. You're going to see it doesn't make a whole lot of difference here. Oops. There we go. What I want to do. Alright, 2.3 it'll be. So it's going to be 16, combine, corn. Good enough. Now I need to make, yeah, I picked up this guy. Now I need to make another trailer. So at the end of this stop sign, give it a little buffer here. And I'm going to start a course. Wait for the van. And I'm going to record a course. And I am going to dump silo 2. So I'm going to run it along the inside here. I tend to do that just because it gives me some paths, like like that one that's compacting, right? Just a good technique. You don't need to drive it right down the middle. It'll spread just fine. I'm not going to come back any of the other silos. I'm thinking a long-term strategy here, even though I'm really in a short-term early game and this guy's going to be gone. I'll probably abandon field 16 before anything else gets done. So let me run this guy back. Alright, this looks like a good ending spot. I should have broke that stupid bio into a couple different routes, but let me just call this 16 gun 2. And now I'm going to combine some courses. So I'm going to combine, cancel this one. And I'm going to do 16 corn and 16 gun 2. And I'm going to save that. And this is the one I'm going to load in the system normally. ZZ gun 2. I'll probably do a gun 3. Just because I'm going to partially, I mean, I just disposited it's in different stages of the, different runs of the plant down there. Because as you deposit this stuff, it's got to sit for 12 hours, and once you hit 600,000 pounds, I can go ahead and attach the tipper to the rear end of this guy. I got maximum speed. I got pretty good speed limits. Those would be good enough. I could turn them up if I wanted to. Not so much for the, I mean, it'll go at speed 6 or whatever the power of this tractor. I don't think this tractor is quite powerful enough. There's somewhat of a slope on this course. It'll probably run below 6 quite often, but it'll run up to 6. But then when it's on that high-speed portion, so this will typically um, start mulching corn, you know, and depositing it into the rear end of it. Ultimately, if I had more tractors, I probably might have kept a tractor, but you can not attach the tractor to the back of this guy, and you can have it dump off to a side tractor, and then the tractor doesn't have to run its route. Or alternative, you can eventually buy 2 of those setups, right? It'll do the field in half the time that it's going to take to do this one. But with a course width of 2.3 or whatever I picked, it's going to take a while to get through this course, like well over an hour. I'm coming up on the hour point here. It's 7:57 in the morning on the time scale. This guy's getting finished. So once it gets done with here, I'm going to set it. I mean, that's nothing for me to do. I'm going to set it to 120x until the corn grows. So let me stop at 11:30 on game time and just check out the day. You know, we bought $181,000 worth of vehicles. Our vehicle run cost was $835. Wage payment was close to $6,000. We did get some harvest income, close to 50 grand, and we took out a big loan, right, for 157,000 or whatever. And so that's our balance for the day. Just want to check up on that. End of night number 1. So it's 6:00 whatever in the morning, and we've just filled up our corns ready to go at this point in time. So I don't want to get too late at night because it's a 12-hour gestation period. So let me stop it here at 7 o'clock. There we go. Set it down to 1x speed. And I'm going to start this guy at the first point. And he's going to start munching, and that end going to start filling up. And it fills up fairly rapidly. Mulching, chafing corn like this, as opposed to just mowing it down and, you know, with a regular combine. Well, you can't even use a regular combine. You got to use a special one, and selling it as corn. It's much more efficient to sell it as silage. So this is going to go on its way. And fill. Meanwhile, I'm going to line this guy up to run behind him. Well, let me go do something. All right, I'm going to sell this guy, or at least the rear end of it here. Sell the sower. So I took a little detour. Meanwhile, I'm filling up out on the field. I'm going to go buy the big guy right now. 98 grand. 9 meter working with. 132 horsepower, which is this guy's a little underpowered, but it should power it. We'll sell that guy. Don't get a lot for it, but it is what it is. So 35 grand, 36 grand, whatever. So meanwhile, this guy's almost full. Does kind of a poor job with that extended width. This is the first row it's missing a little bit on. At the ends, it's a abomination because of the turning radius, trying to turn on a 2-meter dime. But once this fills up with 21,000 pounds, it'll go drive the second portion. That's the nice part about course play. It's going to go drive and dump this this load after it goes to the last point on the field. Why I wanted that last point up at this corner rather than back by the barn. So off we go. So at the end, after dropping off its load, it comes back and it's going to go back to the spot on the field a little bit before it, quite a bit before it actually, and it will run over a little bit of the same portion it ran over here. Does the same goofy lead in, and it's going to chop corn and the turn radius. You can see sort of that extra occasional hanging row that got left out, but I'm not worried about completely covering this field. We're making so much money that so be it, but you see how it trims out the corners, kind of goofy. And it's going to run over the same portion, but it's going to start to fill up and get right back on track here. So it's going to take quite a few. That was one load. You can see how far you got across the field. One load or 21,000 pounds. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit. It's obviously going to take quite a number of trips, quite a number of buckets fulls to get through with this this field. So jumping forward to 7:17 game time, I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to have to stop this guy a number of times, but I'll go ahead and hire him, and he'll catch up a little bit by little with this with the Mex 5, because he's just running pretty quick. While I'm here, take a look at how we're doing on our load. So yeah, 21,000. So we dumped one load. Now it's 42% compacted, so we can go ahead and run a compact, or we can wait till the end. I'll probably run about 5 loads on this guy. I got another load coming as we speak. Drop it up to 42,000. I think you need about 100,000 minimum, or 12% or 11% before you can put the blanket. So let me just fast forward and see where till the blanket comes, which is after about 5 loads. So I'm going to jump back in at 7:51. I'm dumping what I think is my last load. At least on this because I'm going to wrap this a little early, as soon as I can. I'll go ahead and compact this. Just by manually driving over it here. We're at roughly 105,000. Minus 1 pound. All right. So there we go. Go ahead and wrap it. Boom. There it is. And you can no longer deposit in that. I'm going to have to switch. I made a course play to drop off on the 3rd silo. So this guy's going to sit for 12 hours. So 1951 in game time. Probably set it up to 120x to get there, because this guy's just going to plow the field. I know you're wasting some time, but I'm not going to sit around. Alright, it's been pretty quick as far as time goes. So I've got this time set on 120x. Been doing a little bit of maintenance. It's been dropping off stuff in the silo next door, like this guy's going to do right now. And we're waiting for 1 more hour game time. So that's another minute, right, or so here. This guy's going to unleash itself. and we'll have 105,000 pounds. We've got 32,000 and change. And we're losing a little bit as time goes on here on the hourly rate, right? So, but 32,000 and change is where we're starting at, and we're gonna gracefully unload 105,000 pounds of material into the hopper. There we go. All right, set this back to 1x. Gotta put it on the shovel mode and bio front 2. To load her down. It's gonna scoop up 1,800 pounds, 1,860. So for 105,000, 1,860, you're gonna do 50 plus runs, right? Over to the dumper here, dump it in. That counter starts going up there, and you collected, I didn't see exactly what we collected there, but $3,000 roughly. So 50 times $3,000 is, well, a little bit over 50. Probably over 150 grand. Oh, you can see it hung up there. I'm probably gonna have to raise the shovel. We'll see if it gets stuck again or not. On the loading position, might need to raise a shovel a little bit to get all the way through this, but that's going to continue to go on its way. Meanwhile, I'm filling up silo 3 with the balance of the day's work. That's how you're going to make cash, good cash. So that is, yeah, pretty darn close to 3, a little bit under $3,000 each of those scoops. That's how you make cash fast. So we're now at 2100 game time, and it looks like it might be my last scoop here of the 105,000 pound silo number 2, runway number 2, whatever you want to call it. I could probably stop my tractor after it dumps this. It was a partial load here. It's only 800 pounds. It's not even the full bucket. But you can see my money from the 105,000 pounds is now up to 195. I think we started at 32, we agreed, and that was decrementing a little bit. So we're talking about 160 and change for that 100,000 pounds, $160,000 worth for the 160 pounds. So yeah, I made quite a bit of money. Now we can go on and eventually save up for you know, the bigger trucks, well, bigger tractors, maybe another Mex 5 interim, like on this day. I mean, you gotta buy a tractor that goes with it, or think about that. Eventually you can do the Crone. I mean, that's $500,000. But you can see the other load of the day is gonna be at least another 160. I think we're up over 105,000. We'll be closer to 160,000 pounds. So maybe another 300 grand. So I might get 500 grand this day or something like. I mean, not this day. If the day is going to run out, but I mean, on this field load, right? I mean, you might be getting 400, 500 grand, and you just have to repeat that over again. I know it's painful with the Mex 5, but anyways, that's a good start, and you can kind of go any way you want at this particular point. So thanks for watching.